June 11th, 2024. It was the day I've been waiting for this entire year, even since 2023, but that's besides the point. This was the day where I would be going to Orlando, Florida, Disney World, for my marching band trip. I've been looking forward to this, all my hard work. Even though I didn't do any fundraising, besides 2 events, my parents paid for the entire thing, and I could not thank them enough. Woke up 5:45 a.m. This is the story of my trip to Disney World. Here we go. Alright, so I just stole an intro. Anyways, I wake up 5:45 a.m. I know what's coming. It's time for me to eat my breakfast, which is literally just 2 Pop-Tarts as usual. I'll eat my breakfast, and get all my luggage and all my stuff, and I'm all prepared. Get my student ID, because I need that to actually not get held back, because I actually do need that to get on the flight. And I have everything on me, so it's time to make the way to Pocketville High School. So, it's a quick little drive, and I see the choir director, who I'll call Miss Owl. Miss Owl takes me, makes sure I have my, student ID, checks my luggage to make sure I have this luggage tag on it from the tour company we have, which I'll call Silly Little Fun Time Adventures, or SLF Adventures for short. So yeah, I did that. I'm there. Now I'm directed to go into the auditorium, where after 2 seconds of looking, there are the buddies that I will be rooting with. Steve, Ted, and Alfred wasn't there yet, because Alfred took an alternate transportation. So, for the first day, it was me, Steve, and Ted. So, Alfred I'll describe later, but I'm going to describe Steve and Ted for you. We'll start with Steve. Steve is really fucking tall for all my fellow Americans. I'm assuming I'm not using meters for everyone else. My 55% of my geography is the United States, so eat that, Europeans. And I think the only European person watching this is Daniel, because I'm going to force him to watch this. Anyways, so Steve is 6'3". Not even joking. At the ripe age of 13. Yeah, that's right. He hasn't even turned 14 yet. I did in November. He's still 13. I don't know how he survived the roundup, but not my question. He's really tall, he's Polish, and he doesn't really shut up about being European. He's like, oh, in Europe, this is way better. He doesn't have a British accent, obviously. He sounds very American. He never gave an excuse as to why his voice is American. Anyways, that's really all you need to know. He's very European. He can be a real dickhead at times, though, but overall quite nice. And he's also in every single class with me besides Spanish. Alright, next up, Ted. Complete opposite. He's the shortest kid in the entire school. Never got his exact height, but he's probably 4'11". He's really chill, dirty, and sus, and he's quite chill. I've never had a bad experience with him. He's just a short little goofy guy. So that is Ted and Steve. So, sitting with them, we're just chilling, goofing around in the auditorium. We get some cookies from this high school girl. Shoutouts to her for getting those cookies that I didn't eat. I was going to eat them, but I still had my rubber bands in, and I don't want to take them out after I just brushed my teeth from Pop-Tarts. So I never got the chance to eat them, and I'm really sad about that, because I literally didn't realize that I still didn't eat them until the day I was coming home. So, after a bit of chilling, they discuss other trip guidelines thing. They already had a meeting last night that I barely paid attention to, but I knew everything I needed to know. So, here we go. We board the buses to head to the airport. We make it to the airport, get my luggage, get my boarding pass, and turns out Steve is in front of me. And who knows who's next to me? Well, you'll find out shortly, because I need to discuss the airport experience. So it was quite chill. I had my luggage there. I had to stay with my chaperone, but we're not getting stalked by chaperones the entire trip. It's just like to organize people and take attendance more quickly. Funnily enough, I am with my favorite of the, 6 peoples. 2 of them I do not know. 4 of them I do know, and I was with my favorite, who I will call Mr. T. Not the letter, they drink. So, Mr. T here is really chill. He's literally my favorite teacher of all time. GOAT, middle school band director, and he was also my 4th grade band director. Goated person. So that's that. So we take attendance, all that. We get through TSA, show my ID. My bag actually gets stopped at TSA. I was actually quite nervous beforehand. They had showing my ID, and they're whatever. You're all good. So then I take off my shoes. You know the drill. If you're American, had to go to TSA before. I don't know if that's a European thing or not. I'll find out when I call with Daniel, because I'm forcing him to react to this. Anyways, I get that. They search my bag for 5 seconds, and then okay, this kid isn't carrying a fucking gun. Lol. Anyways, we're out through TSA, which surprisingly, 94 kids got through TSA pretty quickly. I know, shocking. There's only one hold up. I just dropped my phone. So yeah, everyone's through TSA, and now we head to our gate, and they're hey, just go chill around the airport, be back at this certain time. So it's really just me, Steve, and Ted just chilling around in this nice little corner of the airport by our gate until our flight is called. But after 10 minutes, we're okay, now what? We need bottles of water to get on the flight, because we're past TSA now. We can actually get some water now. So we head to this little supermarket thing, and we get this nice expensive ass French water, Evian for the name brand. And it's actually some of the best water I've ever had. Some people say water is water. That water was amazing. I love that water. Highly recommend, even though it's expensive as hell. I think I paid $5 for it. Anyways, that's basically all we did before the flight. Now it's time to board my first ever flight. Yeah, that's right, I've never flown on a plane before. This is my first time technically leaving the state, because I lived in New Hampshire till I was 8 or 7. Then I moved to here, New Jersey, and now Florida, Orlando. So we board the plane, sit on my seats, and turns out my seats are next to 2 random girls. The one to the right of me was doing nails and hair the entire time, and the one to the left of me was just fine. Oh yeah, did I mention that I got middle seat? That's right, I got middle seat. The worst possible plane seat ever. Time to discuss the flight. So, I already had a pack of gum prepared, even though I had braces. People think, chewing gum with braces is the worst thing ever. Oh my gosh, it's impossible to get out. It's, the easiest thing. It does not stick at all, as long as you're not a complete idiot with it. So, just keep that in mind for all my fellow braces people if you have to chew gum on a flight. By the way, that strategy's ass. My ears still popped halfway through the flight, because planes are loud. Anyways, takeoff was interesting. I was like, wow, this is so fun. It felt like a ride, which, oh boy, I'm like, hey, I better get used to that one, because, you know, Disney World. And then the airline we were flying, JetBlue, I will be Pacific, they have, like, screens that you could have, like, you know, flight screens, and it was, like, amazing. They had free movies, but I didn't know they were free. I thought I had to sign into a Peacock account. They had games, which I was playing the entire time. I was playing Battleship, this crappy trivia game, and that was fun. Until Ray William Johnson style, I hit the home button, and then, bam! My freaking flight screen, like, turns to black and, like, starts glitching out, and then it's completely black, and then, like, it starts working. So, my screen is gone. I have like 2 offline games on my phone. You can imagine how that last half of the flight went. And I was also occasionally checking the map to see how close we were to Orlando. The only way I was able to check was by this girl to the top left of me. That's like the only advantage that I had being in middle seat. Even then, if I was at window seat or aisle seat, I could peek over at Steve's screen. But Steve, actually never mind, Steve wouldn't have the map open. He was watching like a movie the entire time. I forget what movie he was watching. He did mention it like after the flight though. Anyways, after like so much boredom, we finally land after 10 years. Something I won't understand about planes is that like, well, they're like on the wheels on the land for like 10 years, and then you can finally get off the plane. And it was the most confusing thing I've ever been through. Anyways, I am now in Orlando, Florida. So, we get off the plane, gather up, do everything, go pee, everything. And then, we go up to get our luggage from the carousel. And now, something that I do get harassed by, but I am a very fidgety person. Like, I just can't stay still for the life of me. So I was like kind of walking around laying for my luggage, and Steve for like the entire rest of the trip. Like, this is the main theme that we harass each other about, except for Steve, because, you know, it's impossible to bully Steve. But me, Ted, and Alfred, like, everything that we kept on bullying each other about was etiquette. And me and Ted had absolutely horrible airport etiquette. Well, actually, not so much Ted, more me than him. But I was like so fidgety, waiting for my bags, and I looked like a complete fool. Anyways, I got my luggage, we wait for the buses to finally arrive after 10 years, and we meet our tour guide, who was literally named... No, I'm not gonna say his real name just because I don't care. His name was Steven. So that was something. He also had those, like, you know those plastic lightsabers? He had one of those. That's that. And now we get introduced to our buses. Stay with, like, all the people. Same bus. There was only 2, but... all you need to know is that juniors and seniors were on the first one. Everybody else, second bus, immediately. Anyways, that's all I can explain for now. So, bye-bye.